So there's a lot of different things. There's event calendars in Facebook. There's a lot of technology in there, and Facebook's competitive edge is what they're trying to do is that whenever somebody else has a good idea, they just copy it, and because they've got 500 million users, all of a sudden everybody says, well, I'm not going to use this technology anymore. It's already on Facebook. I don't have to sign in again. And that's really how they're taking this commanding lead. And ag companies are getting in on this as well. Monsanto has, at last count anyway that I knew, has 3 people full-time. All they do is social media within their offices. Now, obviously, they're a little bigger and have a few more resources than many of us, but they're seeing a value. One of the values they try to do is connect with the farm audience that is on there. The other side is trying to get rid of the, get rid of really the stigma that Monsanto has around the world as being the big evil corporation that is, going to destroy the planet. They're trying to dispel all of that information because a lot of the people who are saying that Monsanto is going to take over and wreck the world are using social tools to push their message. So now Monsanto sees value in, okay, we're going to go in there and at least be a voice of reason. Maybe no one will believe us, but if we stay silent, does that hurt us more? So that's what they're trying to do. Twitter is the other one. So as I said, it's the 140 characters is what you get to send your message to whoever decides to follow you. So it works similar to Facebook. You go in, you sign up, and then you decide, okay, who am I interested in following? The difference here is that, at least what I've found so far, is that while you do go in and find maybe some of your friends who are on it, what you'll also do is you'll go in and say, you know what, I'm interested in what Tiger Woods has to say because he's now on Twitter, what Britney Spears has to say, and what Dr. Phil has to say. Those are who I'm really interested in hearing about. And so you just go in and you'll click follow them, and then whenever you're logged into Twitter, then it shows their status updates, and you can see just exactly what Dr. Phil is thinking, if that's what you're interested in. If you're not, then maybe you're more interested in what the canola growers have done. This is, I wish I remember which one, but all 3 canola growers, provincial associations here, have Twitter accounts set up. And so they're really trying to drive it as a way to both engage with a consumer audience about the benefits of canola oil and canola products, as well as to the ag audience to say, here's production updates, it's now time to check your bin because, there's a pest problem going around, you've got to see if you've got it too. That type of information they're pushing out, and it's essentially you go through and you say, okay, I'm not interested in the leadership quote of today that they put out, but I am interested in that November 1st is the deadline to enter the photo contest. So it really is that pick and choose of the information quickly. However, I've decided to follow canola growers because generally I'm interested in what they have to say. The other thing about Twitter is that it's a very mobile tool. So people generally, when they sign up for Twitter, they'll use twitter.com as the tool to, sort through followers and send tweets and all that. But then all of a sudden you get past that 25 or 50 people that you're following, and when they're sending a message, each one of them maybe every hour, all of a sudden it gets harder and harder to manage that type of content. So there's a lot of providers out there that have just third-party software that you go in and you can start creating lists. So how I have it set up is here is all the people that I know personally that I just want to know what they're saying. Here's all the news and political tweets. Here is the ones relating to agriculture. Here's the ones relating to human resources. And whatever the subjects I'm interested in, I can either sort through the people who I'm following to break them down into categories, or I can set up permanent search terms. So every time somebody puts in the word farms.com in a tweet, it comes in my list. It doesn't matter if I'm following them or not. As long as it's public, I see that. And so now all of a sudden I can manage that content. And if it's a busy day and I don't have time to see what the people I know or the news and politics people are saying, then I don't bother looking at it. I'll look at just the agriculture and farms.com ones, quickly scroll through them, and then minimize it exactly the same as I have in my Outlook. That comes up when new email comes in and drops down when I'm done using Outlook. Does that kind of make sense? And so as I said, it's very mobile. So the other thing that you can do is update it through your Blackberries or iPhones. So, this morning when I got here, my tweet of the morning was I took a picture and said it's nice and fresh here in Regina. And that was just my tweet. I got a response from Elaine Fraze moments later that's just saying that, it's not quite as nice as it was in Winnipeg last week, is it? So it's just that communication that, Elaine and I wouldn't necessarily talk to each other on a regular basis. However, those one little, messages back and forth keep our relationship at a higher level while we still kind of update on what each other does. And that's really what the relationship building is about across these networks. Tracy Bowdy is the entomologist for the Ministry of Agriculture in Ontario. She's got the Bowdy Bug blog, and she's got a Twitter feed. And what she does is essentially blogs about pest problems in the province and tweets about them as well. So I can get information right away from her to say, armyworm is coming up in 2 counties south of us, so that I can make that decision. Okay, when do we start scouting for armyworm? Because obviously, that path says it's going to come to us eventually, and that's something that we've got to add into our scouts that we're doing in the fields today. So that's just some of the information, some of the ways you can use it. We also do it, give the market numbers too, and that's another way. So just to get that information. And the big thing about Twitter too, all these tools really, is that just because you sign up doesn't mean you have to become the world's best blogger today. You can just go in and just listen. Within Twitter, you don't have to send a single tweet ever. But is there information within Twitter that you can get just by following the people that you're interested in or that have something to say that you might be